Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot, and this is going to be a message for the Divine Feminine Collective. And so normally you don't already see the cards all laid out on the table, but I was asked to deliver this message a little bit differently than I normally do. And so stick around, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, especially if you're resonating with the messages that I am sharing today. And so the first thing I would like to say to you, Divine Feminine, is trust the universe. Whatever it is you've been doing, I want to say, even though it doesn't feel like it, it is working. So keep doing it. Something here is shifting big time for the Divine Feminine Collective. And so I went into a massive purge the last couple of days. I took sick. I spent a couple of days in bed, in and out, very intense purging and astral traveling and clearing. And so there's been some type of healing activation. And so if you're on the same timeline as me, you're probably going to resonate with this message. And so remember, guys, this message is all about guidance. It's all about empowerment. I'm not here to tell you what to do. These cards are not here to tell you what to do. So just take this reading as an opportunity to step into your power and to create the life you want. So we're going to start off by, I'm going to share these scrying messages that came through. And so if you embrace the philosophy of reincarnation like I do, then maybe you're coming into this recognition of just how old of a soul you are. And so many in the Twin Flame Collective, we have lived many, many lifetimes, both of high and low degree, of high and low value. And so collectively, we have learned a lot when it comes to transitioning and dealing with things of the earthly value, the earthly material. And what I heard was luck, success, honor, and material rewards are yours, Divine Feminine. And so the collective that I'm tapping into is at this place of completion when it comes to enlightenment, attainment, and realization. And so these are all possible right now. And what I was asked to share with you is please keep taking things one step at a time. Take things one step at a time and keep your mind on the goals that you have set. And so we are at this turning point, I feel, this turn for the better. And usually it does get a little bit darkest before the biggest breakthrough. And so the wheel of life, it always keeps turning. It's constantly turning. And we're kind of at that next rotation. And so we never fully know when that next rotation is going to bring exactly what it is that we've manifested, that we want. But we do have to keep we have to keep keeping on. And so if you've not began sharing your truth, we are in this portal of becoming these truth speakers, these truth seekers. And so you have to begin now. And so right now the energy is feeling very intense, very intensely emotional was the vibrations coming through. And so this could be bringing up a lot of old unresolved issues. But on the other side of this clearing, it's going to bring lasting success and lasting happiness. And so some key words that came through in this channeling was love, family ties, and happy changes. And so when I think of family ties, sometimes we do have to break the trauma bonded ties that we have within the family unit. We have to heal the mother and the father wounding. And so right now there is a lot of energies moving through the Divine Feminine Collective. And you are definitely encouraged to take a step back, to relax, to go through this purging process, because as we go through this purging, we are also elevating when it comes to our consciousness and the energies all around us. And so I felt such intense solar plexus cutting of the cords is kind of the energy that I was in the last several days. And so intense pain, intense severing of ties, and whether that be family or soul family, but these ties kind of need to be severed, and all of the negative attachments have to be healed in order for this new consciousness to be grounded around you. And so right now, I think a lot of the Divine Feminines are learning to use their logical thinking with their intuition. And this is going to allow us to bring about wise conclusions. And then I heard very loudly reversal. And so this could be the reversal of the karmic scales. And what I want to make very loud and clear is things are not as they appear on the surface. And so there's still things working below the surface. So Divine Feminine, you must really look beneath the surface for that true understanding in whatever is being cleared, because it's almost like this energy of feeling like you're being crucified. And so we basically do have to crucify our personal life so we can allow that true self to be born or to be reborn. And so it is the journey of Christ consciousness, where we do have to go through that crucifying energy of really finding the courage, finding the wisdom and the presence of mind to go through this immense spiritual growth, to harness our intense and honest self-expression as part of this expansion journey. And so right now, I think the strong message too was, do not make any commitments right now that will bind you or encumber you in any way, shape, or form. And so you do need a certain amount of freedom, Divine Feminine, in order to cultivate that personal self-expression right now. And so really listen to your dreams, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to your desires too. What is it that you dream about when it comes to your desires? Because that all can become your reality right now. And so I think a lot of the Divine Feminines are being faced with a big decision, and we will be faced with many, many decisions in our lifetime. And this is where we have to learn to make sound judgments based on reason and not only appearances, right? Not only outward appearances and what other people are going to think about these decisions. And so we're kind of at a make or break pivotal point, or a save or a slay energy is really what come through. And so we are constantly renewing our life through the many decisions that we make, right? And so life is all about choices and the consequences of those choices. And so right now, collectively, I feel the Divine Feminine is at a turning point where a decision might need to be made. Maybe you're coming into a newfound awareness, and so you're going to have to be adaptable, because I do feel we are like in this reconstruction phase. And so maintain an honest and persevering attitude, and be very mindful of not overindulging, whether it be spending or eating or anything of the sort that's used as a mask. Use your fine strength and character wisely in these energies right now. And so let's go a little bit further. Let's talk about these cards. And so I will pull more cards, but first I'd like to talk about the solar plexus. And so the color yellow might be really prominent. The energy is very fiery. I do feel like the burning up of Kundalini energy, or the burning up of karma coming from the solar plexus. And so this is also where we find our adrenaline to keep going. And so a big key word I feel is I can. And so you think of the solar plexus chakra, it is the third chakra, and this is where the 3D material world is housed. And so in order to be grounded in fifth dimensional earth, there does need to be the throat chakra activation and the throat chakra clearing. And so where a lot of us get stuck in the 3D is we don't master speaking that truth. And that is what we did come here to do. And so a lot of us go through the heart awakening, the heart purge, but we can't fully ground in fifth dimensional energies until we start heart-centered action and heart-centered truth being spoken. And so there's a rebalancing I feel going on when it comes to the solar plexus. And so be aware of people that are draining your energy. I do feel there's a lot of focus on empowerment coming through, and that will really help you harmonize any blockages within the solar plexus. And so really have faith, really breathe, really trust that, when we go through this walkabout, on the journey, it is a very sacred walkabout. We do have to kind of meet people. We have to reconnect with the earth. We have many soul contracts, many lessons that we need to work through. And we do have to keep finding the will to survive so we can get to the other side and we can get to this energy of thriving. And so when it comes to the oracle cards, I pulled the first house, the arrival. And so this is the energy I feel of a major completion. And somebody here I feel is really being pushed into that leadership role. And so the 39 number, the key 39 in the tarot is actually linked to the Knight of Cups. And so there's maybe an opportunity for some emotional exploration here. And that is the pathway. We got to go through this emotional exploration to complete these worldly cycles. We also got the solar flares, or the activation card, the activate card, and it's also a 17. And so this is also the energy of the star. And so we are here for the age of Aquarius. This is what we came here for this lifetime, to reincarnate, to be here for this exact moment in time. And so we have Pluto retrograde right now, and it's dipped back into Capricorn. It's at the anaretic degree, 29th degree. And so we're kind of closing out the last 15 years of a Capricornian, Plutonian lessons. And so we're going to be moving into air energy. And so it is the age of collaboration. It is the age of technology. It is the age of healing. And then the third oracle card that came out, and this is from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck, is the fourth house, is the home. And so it is a 42 card. And so this is indicative of a Two of Cups energy. And so when you think of the house, when you think of the home, a lot of us will repeat negative patterns that we learned from childhood, from our parents. And so just because something feels familiar doesn't mean that it's good for us. So I'm going to read into the book. We're going to go deeper into these energies. I'm sure you can hear my peanut upstairs. But let's talk about this first house energy. And so the first house is speaking of the arrival, right? This is how you enter the world. The first house is how you enter the world. This is your first impressions of the world. This is the first impressions that you give people about yourself. And so look to your rising sign. I know I'm a Pisces rising, and so my chart ruler is Neptune, and my Neptune is in the sign of Sagittarius. And so I'm here to break the mold when it comes to expansion. And so if your birth chart were like a village map, you think of it as a map, and it is. It's like a cosmic map to discover who you are. The first house is the gateway and the information center of how you entered this earth. And so the first house is about the rise over the eastern horizon. And so this is where the sun would be just before dawn. And so this is the energy we will feel most strongly when it comes to our birth chart. And so this is all about taking action and taking responsibility for how you are perceived. And so although I am a Taurus sun sign and a Virgo moon, I'm often perceived as a Pisces rising. And so this is kind of the energy we exude when we walk into a room. This is how we assess. This is how we lead. This is also partly connected to our mannerisms and our appearance. And so really look at the first house when it comes to the mind and the heart. Are you versatile? Are you able to change your approach to fit certain circumstances? If you're a mutable first house, you likely are. But people read what you put out there. And so this is about the energy that you exude when it comes to your personal identity, when it comes to your interactions. And so how can you ensure that you are matching your intentions with what you are putting out there? And so if you're feeling misunderstood, if you're feeling like you're not being perceived correctly, then there might be some simmering tension below the surface that you need to look at, that you need to clear when it comes to maybe some rose-colored glasses. And so maybe it's time to consider becoming more transparent. And as I'm talking, I'm feeling a surge of energy block on the right side of my throat. And so there is, I feel, a masculine wounding here that needs to be addressed when it comes to some strong emotional undercurrents. And so we do still have the Mercury energy at play. It's in Virgo. And so there's something I feel being brought back into your awareness in order to get grounded. So there is a challenge here for sure. So you might be being challenged to see beyond any shallowness or any surface level appearances. There is definitely a need to evaluate how you interact with the world around you, because there is a major block coming through with the throat. So we're going to talk about the solar flares next. And I kind of cued all the cards because there's quite a bit to unpack here. And so the solar flares is asking you to watch your temper, right? Tempers are likely to flare, and we have to be mindful, Divine Feminine, of not scorching ourselves with too much passionate action. And so when we have too much passionate action and not enough emotional sensitivity, then we need to bring it back to a state of mindfulness. And so right now, there's a lot of extra energy saturating the collective. There could be solar flares playing out, but there's like feeling the heat of a certain situation here when it comes to somebody that you're involved with, whether it's family or a counterpart situation. And so it's time to turn your inspiration into reality. And so right now, I think everything is kind of being magnified when it comes to the issues on the home front, especially since the fourth house was at play here. And so the fourth house really is asking you to come home to self, make your life a complete sanctuary, right? And so the home should be a place where you create. It should be a place where you can renew, where you can live with intimate intention when it comes to living your most authentic life. And so you think about it, home is your emotional space as well, more than your physical space. And so both the physical home and your internal home, it matters, right? And so right now we've got to bring something back into the practical realm when it comes to maybe a feeling of existential homesickness. And so we all go through that longing for a home that we maybe never had as a child. And so we got to kind of do the next layer of healing. Maybe it's time to do the next layer of therapy, or maybe it's time to do some work around some family karma. So I know a lot of us come to heal and clear the family karma, the family baggage. And so think about how you would have liked to be parented, how you would like to have been loved as a child. And if you didn't receive that, use that as a model for self-care right now in these energies. And so a lot of us have this deep intuitive connection to the spiritual realm. And so the fourth house also connects you to the collective energy as well. And so we kind of got to drop down into the heart center and understand that we have the center of gravity to renew our connection, not only to the heavens, but to the earth. And so it is all about touching that spirit from within. And so there might be a challenge when it comes to making your home a sanctuary, because we also have to find the sanctuary within our soul, within our home. So we have to have those safe surroundings so we can go through this renewal process. And I know the Mercury and Virgo energy, I think, is going to push us to really organize the structure around our physical home. And so really what's coming through is a beautiful energy. When we look at the first row and the top row, this is kind of really what's going on here. The central energy, we do have this Queen of Wands. And so that is a visionary, right? The Queen of Wands is a leader. This is somebody that is going to be a way shower, that's going to show the way. The first card out the gate, we get this Two of Cups, followed by the Palace of Wands and the Hanged Man. And so we do still have Neptune retrograde in Pisces. And so as Neptune retrogrades through Pisces, the retrograde energy is saying we're busting free from illusions, right? We're no longer going to be fooled by the masks that people wear. We've got the, I was going to say the Divine Feminine card, which it is, the Empress, the Divine Feminine, the Queen of Wands as the central energy, and then the Page of Wands. And so lots of wands. If you notice, the first thing I notice is look at all of these wands. So we have to be mindful because there's a lot of passion here. It's followed by, the page is followed by the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and then the Nine of Wands. And so this is the wounded warrior, the wounded healer. And so I feel there is a Divine Feminine here that is creator, that has massive potential here to lead the way when it comes to these healthy divine unions. And so divine union is on the table, and there is a need to have faith. This energy, to me, the Queen of Wands is saying it's time to live your life fearlessly. It's time to live your life with courage and strength and determination. It's really time to release anything that's been keeping you small, anything that's been keeping you from this path of authenticity. And so really embrace the solitude and appreciate that time with your internal thoughts, with all of these downloads. This to me is like downloads, downloads, downloads. This also, this Two of Cups, this can also be just alignment of the inner masculine and feminine. And so I feel like a Venus and Cancer energy coming through there. And then the Empress, the divine feminine, we get Taurus, Libra, and fire. There's lots of fire coming through and huge potential for divine union. But once again, the balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies. The Ace of Wands is potential to arrive at this new timeline shift. But it is about digging deep into the wounds. And so there's that Sagittarius energy. Maybe you're a moon in Sagittarius. Maybe you're a Neptune in Sagittarius, like myself. And then on the bottom of the deck, we got this pile of energies. And so what came out first was the Six of Coins in reverse, along with the Knight of Wands. We got this Queen of Cups next in the lineup, and the Page of Cups. And so the bottom of the deck is kind of what you don't see. It's kind of hidden. And so there is a rebalancing here. There is this energy of rebalance, refocus, retribution is what I just heard. And so if the scales have not been equal in the past, Taurus, Libra, things are about to turn in your favor. And so there's like a reversal of the scales. And so what I feel is there could be a message coming. There could be an unexpected love offer coming. I feel like a partnership is sneaking up behind you. You could be Pisces. You don't have to be, but you've got to be mindful of filling your own cup, because there's also this energy of a past betrayal needs to be released in order to go towards this incoming manifestation. And so we are still being asked to take action on behalf of ourselves. And below, even further, we have the Sun card with the King of Cups, the Temperance, and the Fool. And so there is an opportunity to take that leap when it comes to a new beginning here. And so we do have Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And this is also bringing forward maybe a chance to do something over. It doesn't mean a redo with a previous person, but maybe a redo at a cycle in a higher vibration, in a higher energy. And so we've got lots of energies coming through. We get water, we get Leo, Sagittarius, the Fool is Aries, Uranus is in Taurus right now. But this is a major life force activation. And so this is all about expansion. And we are going to have Jupiter going retrograde in Gemini. And so Jupiter in Gemini is actually in the energy of the fall. It doesn't really like to be in there, but there's a lot of messages coming about authenticity, right? And so the bubbles are bursting. We can't stay stuck in an old cycle. The Eight of Swords is kind of like the lower arcana of the devil, which is really addressing unhealthy patterns, toxic patterns, and expanding beyond them and going through this activation. And it is the energy, I feel, of like the burning up of the karma. But in order to get to the other side of this lack of consciousness, we do have to walk through the fire, and we do have to walk through the pain. And so Saturn retrograde in Pisces is really asking us to really understand the stories that we tell ourselves that aren't true. And so most of us are in this Five of Pentacles energy collectively in the third dimension. And it's overcoming those states of lack, finding the drive to communicate maybe about your wounds. And so karma does reward you when you learn the lessons, right? And so a lot of the twins, we did come here to clear this third party energy. And so right now, sometimes we do have to understand that the solitary path does need to be walked. To know how to be solitary, to know how to be alone, really is the true central art of loving self. And so the energy here is saying it's fertile. It's fertile for receiving abundance. It's fertile for planting a seed for a new creative endeavor. And I do feel this energy will be supported, but we need to understand that we have to learn how to be alone. We have to learn how to align our energies without all of these outside sources. And then we know we can fully be with another without using them as a means to escape all of these unhealed wounds, all of these triggers within, right? And so right now, I think we are being asked to be intentional with our inspiration, right? We're being asked to be intentional with our inspiration. And so you might find yourself needing to just take a solitary walk through a local park or a local trail. I know for me here today outside, it's kind of raining and I'm still recovering from that virus, which I'm probably sure was influenza. But we are being asked to hold our center as we come into this new inspiration. Quiet your center and trust that you can only do what you can do. And so when we choose stillness, when we choose not to feel guilty for taking a step back and actively practicing resting and stillness, it's okay to wait. It's okay because we all get where we need to be in the perfect time. And so be patient, right? Be patient with all things, but first of all, be patient with yourself. And so maybe it's time to pick up the pen and write down ways which you could be more loving and patient to yourself. Keep the list handy. Maybe post little stick-it notes or post-it notes around your house, and have those positive affirmations there as a reminder when it comes to this journey. And so self-care is all about little rituals that you do to restore your feelings of overall well-being. And so where have you been neglecting dealing with something here? I feel there's like a tribulation coming up that needs to be dealt with, and you're going to have to choose a daily self-care practice that will allow you to go through this tribulation. And so I also feel there's a lot of achievements coming your way. So trust that you truly are a gift to the universe, from the universe. Take that moment to connect to source, to go through this quiet, reflective, meditative process to be able to practice the art of self-discipline and bring freedom to your soul. And so when we are balanced, when we are whole, then we are in a state of completeness, and then we are love. And so we are love, and love is us, and that will never ever change. And so the doorways we're about to walk through are asking us to have faith, right? And so we're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive. And so during this eclipse portal, how can you find the good in the challenges that you've gone through and find the courage to live your life fearlessly? Because we are here to elevate to these higher states of consciousness. And so bottom of the deck on the Star Codes Oracle deck is the North Node. And so the North Node is all about the future. The North Node is all about accelerated ascension. I'm being shown an Eight of Wands. And so how can you reorient your path and get yourself unstuck from an old pattern and ascend that pattern and be future oriented with the North Node? And then below that, look at that, we got the 5th house and Mars. And so you and only you are responsible for the path that you are on. And so you can't wait around for somebody to come and save you. I do feel this is about taking honest action, moving forward. And so these eclipse energies are kind of pushing us towards a new passion, pushing us towards the future. So actually, let's read that North Node energy out of the book. I do feel a very strong Eight of Wands. And so the second you step into that North Node, there will be an acceleration when it comes to moving forward. So you just kind of got to take that leap of faith. You got to trust that it's kind of time to ascend the patterns of the past. And so when we think of the North Node too, this is something that we've not mastered in a past life. And so this is all brand new, fresh territory. And so the North Node is where the soul really longs to be, though. This is the lessons that we came here to learn. And so we don't really have a map. We kind of got to step out of that comfort zone, and it can be very uncomfortable. But the lunar nodes really are points that are saying, hey, it's time for us to clear up something from the past. It's time for us to create something new. And so these eclipses really are casting a great big light on the shadows in order for us to face our inner dragon, our inner demon when it comes to the dragon's head and tail. And so I do feel there's a big energy calling the Divine Feminine Collective forward. So how can you just move forward? Really look at that North Node energy and ask yourself, what would you like to be doing in 10 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Heck, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Because the divine feminine is here to be a beacon. The divine feminine is here to be a guide, and we are here to guide those through those to guide the others through the in-between times. And so what is piquing your curiosity right now? We all have a North Node mission. And so if something is unfamiliar, but it's beckoning you, it's okay. You think about it. We all have to start somewhere. We all start at zero. We all have to have that beginner's mindset. And you don't become a pro at anything without just taking that leap and starting. And so there may be this resistance coming through when it comes to the change and fully getting rooted in the North Node. But that's just your discomfort talking, right? That's your discomfort talking. And so it's time for you to stay true. It's time to stay in your lane. And it's time to do what's best for you. And so maybe it's time to release companions that are no longer in connection with this fresh new path. Maybe it's time to explore new territory. If you're feeling too small or confined, it's really time to meet yourself where you're at and push yourself out of that comfort zone. And so you're being called to go through this soul's growth. And so it's scary, right? It's scary to leave the familiar behind. It's scary to go into uncharted territory. But love of self is saying, hey, you can't resist this evolution. Do not pull yourself away from this evolution, because there is a new beginning dawning. And your fate awaits you as you step into this path. So just start where you are, and trust that the North Node becomes more solid as you progress on your journey. And so maybe solitude is the place that you need to be at right now in order to reawaken some gifts, some talents, to reawaken a state of inner peace. But it's kind of like you hold the answers in your hand. And so how can you shift that perception? And it might mean, hey, you're going to have to face some opposition. You're going to have to maybe go head to head with somebody. There could be an argument here with no resolution in sight. And so there is like a shattering of illusions when it comes to this eclipse portal. And this is the entrance to your most authentic self, is that core wound, right? And so 35 card, key 35 is the wounded healer, is the 9 of Wands. And so take those wands, take that lesson and use it to fuel something new, right? Because he's holding the Ace of Wands. Behind him is the Eight of Wands. And so there's like this energy of inertia or stuckness. And it's kind of time to find that flame, be the flame, light the way, be the way, take action towards this entrance. And so thoughts are just thoughts until we make them our reality. And so you can think about a union, you can think about this all you want, but you do have to take action to create that union within yourself first. And so we are love. And so be grateful of the loving energy that is filling your soul. I just felt this overall like reactivation of every cell in my body that kind of took place over the last few days. Let's get a few more messages here, okay? Let's kind of dig into this spread a little bit further, and I will pull a few more cards with the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. We're going to clarify each of these with a deeper message, okay? So the Two of Cups. Oh, we get the polar bear energy. And so there is something here that needs to be recognized when it does come to a pattern. So I kind of feel the energy of the devil with the 10 of Wands. And so there is still a long-standing burden that needs to be released about your visualization about what love is. What is true partnership, right? And so there is some type of connection still to the past that needs to be released. With the Ace of Wands, we get the 34 card, and we get the King of Diamonds, which is the King of Pentacles. And so I do feel an 8 of Wands energy. Be careful who you're sharing your ideas with at this time. But there could be a solid offer coming in. There could be unexpected communication coming in. Clarifying the Hanged Man, we do get the 27 card. And we get the 7 of Swords. And so there could be a message coming. There could be some type of confession coming that might change your point of view. It's like the letter. And so take some time to really clean house. I think the energy is feeling a little bit cloudy with the letter card here. I feel the Seven of Swords is like coming out of some type of illusion, coming out of some type of confusion. And so really sit with yourself and journal. I do feel there could be an Ace of Wands, a new opportunity here. There's just this energy of clearing up some karma is really what it feels like. So tell me more about the Empress here. Oh, we get an Ace of Cups and we get a Two of Wands energy. We get the man holding a rose. And so there very well could be a new cycle beginning here for a divine feminine here that has cleared some past karma. I do feel it's almost like a Knight of Cups energy coming in with an offer. Oh, and there we got that coming to Jesus moment. And so there is a burden being released. Once you release this burden, victory is yours, is what I want to say. And so this is clarifying the Queen of Wands energy here. And so this is like a coming to Jesus moment, Christ consciousness. And so there is a Six of Wands energy here coming through. And so this is also the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And so you see the Jesus energy at the top of the cross and Mary at the bottom. And so the positive and the negative polarities coming into balance. And then the Page of Wands, we get the Death card, strength, and the Nine of Pentacles energy coming through. And so this really is about becoming independently owned and operated. This is about finding the strength to go through this rebirth cycle and to come out the other side with that newfound creative energy. And so there is something here being birthed for sure. The Ace of Wands. We get the 13 card, and so death energy. This is also like a Knight of Swords. So there could be an unexpected arrival coming in here. This is about bring something to life. This is like your dreams coming to reality. Inner child healing. This is a rebirth for sure, a renewal. The King of Wands clarified by the older woman, and I'm just going to kind of cover her up. And so this is about taking those steps towards some truth, integrity. I heard truth and reconciliation. There is a king here, I feel, coming forward with some truth to a divine feminine. And so this could be a long time waiting. And so you see how young this man is and the age difference. And I just feel there's been a level of maturity gained in some type of separation. So 29 is the Three of Wands. And so there is like this underlying energy of justice coming through. And we're going to just clarify the Nine of Wands. And so look at that. We get a King of Cups with a Four of Wands energy. We get the home. And so this is about rewriting the home. The fourth house is coming up for sure. And so the King of Cups and that King of Cups come through here. And so we've got energies of two pairs on the board. So there's passion, there's love, and on the bottom of the deck we've got an Ace of Cups. And so this is the energy of wishes being granted. Everything is coming full circle. You see all of the suits, which gives me this energy of like the world. And then below that, we get the 19 card, which is karmic debt. And so this is rebirthing the ego. There is a need to address and heal any extreme codependencies and to move on from maybe an old mindset, an old way of being. And then there is a rebirth of some type of union here with a King of Swords. And so we're in a major reorientation portal when it comes to these unions. And so there's that 42 card again, the Two of Cups. And so the heart wants what it wants, and the heart is calling somebody home. And so we are in a major portal of reconciliation, twin flame union. So divine feminine trust, your loyalty has not gone unnoticed, and there is a 10 of Cups coming. There is something still hidden below the surface. So everything is not as it seems. So remember that everything is not as it seems. There is a loyal offer coming in here. And this has been hidden from you as you kind of go into this Ace of Wands energy of building your own foundation. And so the 10 of Coins. And so there is a legacy here to be built. There is stuff here to be walked away from. I feel an 8 of Cups. And so walk away from the challenges, walk away from the mistruths, and trust that justice is going to be served. And so it's like cracking the whip. Get ready to face some challenges. But through these challenges, things will accelerate. We're in an accelerated portal of leadership. And so there's some challenges and hurdles to overcome as we complete a cycle. But there is a new beginning here waiting on the other side. And so trust that you hold the key to this mystery. You got to keep putting in the work of self. And then your ships are going to come in. And so bury the hatchet, bury the past, be willing to move on. And remember that you do matter, Divine Feminine. And that's what I've got for a message for you today. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you'd like to go further with booking a personal reading with me, check out the description box below, guys. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.